Okay, and we have Uncle Swag back with NetDicks movie premiere. Just kidding, NetDicks movie reviews, and it is Uncle Swag. And I like talking into the microphone like this. Should I look at the camera? Okay, here we go. So, we've got the Avengers today. Homies and gentlemen, and of course, the ladies. Let me just get this right, and here we go. We got the Avengers, directed by Josh Weldon. It was cost $220 million to make, and they grossed 1.5 bill worldwide. Numbers still growing. So yeah, that shit's crazy. Blockbuster to the mega extreme. Came out in 2000 and I don't want to get this wrong, guys. I should have looked it up. I think it's 2011. It's all good. I want to look this up too, just to tell you guys what else Josh Weldon directed. In the meantime, I will tell you a joke. What did the fish say when it ran into a wall? Damn. Came out in 2012. Alright, and real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Joss. Joss. See, I would have fucked that up. Here we go. Gooby was a huge fan. Alright, Joss is known for writing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Obviously directing Avengers, Age of Ultron, Much Ado About Nothing, a couple Office episodes, Serenity. Not much. This guy got a hell of a gig for not doing much before, but you know what? Props to him because this directing was fantastic. I do wonder how you get a gig, a $220 million gig, let alone with no prior experience in the mega blockbuster industry. But whoever made the risk on them was right on the fucking money because he killed it. We can jump right off into that. The directing was fucking great. The whole movie, I thought. Yeah, I have it as a 9 right here, but I think I meant to give it a 9.5. Maybe it was a 9. There was a couple things I didn't like, but overall the camera flow was great. Changes in angles, floating camera. I'm trying to think of. There's so many other things, but just the overall, yeah, the flow. I know it sounds a little simple. I've got some stuff written back here. I just didn't want to have to go into the notes. Yeah, I guess a lot of it was like preemptive of the CGI. He was just like almost like, I wouldn't say cut rate Michael Bay, but doing similar stuff, a similar rate Michael Bay probably. That's what it was. He used a ton of different angles. He used some frame shots too, but I did like his use of overhead angles. His cut timing was great too to build suspense. He was a nice suspense builder. And the music had a lot to do with it too. But the increasing music volume with the increasing speed of the cuts, so it's like a slow clap, and that shit builds that builds that intensity. So yeah, probably a 9 was okay. The big beef I had with it was in the non-CGI fight scenes. Like I want to say Thor was fighting maybe Loki. I can't remember exactly. All the fights that went down. That was another thing. There were so many fucking fights, which is good for a movie. But yeah, the directing was like almost like it was just focused on Thor's chest. You couldn't see any punches, anything. It was just a clusterfuck of blur, and I didn't like that. And they were quick, so that was a stylistic thing I wasn't a huge fan of. But another to counter that with something great that I did like, was there was a scene at the end of the movie where I think it was one cut and it was all CGI'd, a lot of it, because they were fighting the aliens, but it showed like almost every Avenger fighting in a choreographed scene on one cut. And I get a kick out of those long one cuts ones because they got to be just so much tougher to create well. You know, when one person can fuck up and ruin a whole shot, I get a little kick out of it, a little movie-gasm. So yeah, that's it. The acting, I have it as an 8.5 right now. That could be higher too, maybe 8.7, maybe even a 9 if I'm feeling generous. This one depends on how tough of a role you think it is to play a superhero, especially ones with such limited screen time. So that is really what's tough. Nobody could really showcase their skills because they had to split up the screen time so much, and I think that didn't impact the acting because because that's a big part of acting is being able to show everything you can do, not just a very limited set. I don't know if that really makes sense. Ruffalo was okay. Nobody got a chance to push themselves over except for Downey Jr. And I do think we should all take a second to applaud Downey Jr. for his role in this, because man, Avengers is a much shittier movie without him. He fucking good job, Robert Downey Jr. That is a funny man. You don't realize how funny he is till you watch this movie, I don't think. Maybe Iron Man. I gotta go back and watch the Iron Man because, geez, all of the jokes flopped outside of the ones that Downey Jr. delivered, and that was my big beef with the writing. I have the writing at an 8 for similar reasons. Same as the acting. There was a little cheesy acting between Captain America and Iron Man. I didn't really love all that. The macho, the machismo, everything was cheesy because it's a blockbuster, you know. So the writing was cheesy, the acting was cheesy, but thank goodness they had Downey Jr. there, because he absolutely pulled the cheesiness right back and sent it back out as pure comedy and just made bad writing good, I think. So that was fun. So he brought the writing up to an 8, and the acting up to an 8.5, if you ask me. I could maybe do an 8 and 9. It doesn't really matter. The impact, I gave it a 9.5. We don't get to see the impact it'll have in the future. You know, obviously that will come, and I'm sure it will have tremendous impact. But just from an idea standpoint, it's pretty sweet. It's a revisionist superhero movie, which is what I really like about it. You know, they took the new idea and they said, okay, let's put multiple superheroes in one movie. It's an idea that I really don't know how often has been done. They've done collabs and stuff before, but I think this has to be on the biggest scale. And so that's neat. Yeah, obviously the cultural phenomena that came with Avengers is pretty sweet. Tough to ignore that. I'm trying to think from an emotional standpoint. I didn't really feel anything, so that's why I had a hard time giving it that high. If I bumped the acting up, I'd probably bump the impact down. Because yeah, it's tough to actually say what it fully deserves. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll probably bump the acting up to a 9 and the impact down to a 9, and then we'll keep the same score. But I think that's more accurate. So, but those are the two huge impacts it had, and I'm sure that this is now going to be the crowning, or the heavyweight championship belt that every action movie is going to try and dethrone. I would say it dethroned Avatar probably, and then they were able to make 3 of them. This is a crown jewel in blockbuster cinema for sure. Yeah. All right. So then we have the plot. I gave the plot an 8.5. I found it a little bit jumpy. I didn't like that, especially at the beginning. That was another thing. The acting at the beginning was bad. Before all the superheroes got involved, the acting was actually bad. So I'm keeping it. That's why it was at an 8.5, and I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll keep it at 8.5. I'll probably still bump the impact down to a 9. The plot is at an 8.5. A little jumpy. It did do some nice things. They had so many. That was what it was. It's tough to do what they did, and that's what people don't really realize. It's tough to give that much huge stars and huge characters and enough screen time in a 2 hour and 20-minute movie to make a good plot. And they did flop a little bit with it. You know, it was jumpy at times, but they actually did a very good job making every minute a good one and separating that between characters semi-evenly. I thought that was pretty sweet, and it did give you a little bit of an emotional impact with each character. Nothing crazy though, but that was I was nervous about how they'd handle the plot. And yeah, overall I was pretty happy with it. The ending, 8.5, maybe 8, a little standard, but kind of cool. You know, almost a Superman-esque, picking up the atomic bomb and throwing it into the universe. It was like a Superman from 1978, but just on a 2018 or 2012 scale. I don't know. Superman dives into the earth and stops a volcano. He puts the plates back together to stop a volcano from happening. I just like the atomic bomb going in space. I don't know, give me a similar vibe. But I liked it. The ending was decent. We bump it down to I'll keep it at 8.5. That gives our dong and dick meter at an 8.6 for the Avengers. I think that's a pretty good spot for it. I could hear arguments for a little bit higher, 8.8, something around there. But yeah, overall a very enjoyable movie. I really liked it. So, thanks for tuning in. Uncle Swag is here. He'll always be here. Gooby is here. He'll always be here. Peace out, fam.